Hello, my earthling people. Today, I wanted to take the time and tell you about the time that I had a brain surgery. Well, it wasn't exactly brain surgery. I had a cyst removed from the back of my head, so I wanted to tell you about that today. So this happened when I was about 14. It was in 2012. And to be quite honest with you, they had me on like a lot of like different drugs and stuff while I was in the hospital. And let me just tell you, one of the drugs that they gave me in the hospital was steroids, and it fucked up my skin for like the rest of my life. Like, no joke. So if you ever see me looking pimply faced, you know why. So this started around the time that I moved. I moved when I was 14 to a new town, a new high school, everything. And I started to get these massive, terrible headaches 24/7. And it wasn't even headaches, they were migraines. They were so bad, I felt my head fucking pounding. It was horrible, and it got to the point where like I would just sleep just so I didn't have to feel a migraine, and I couldn't focus on it and on anything. I was sleeping all the time. In my classes, I would literally just fall asleep at the desk, and like it was just because these migraines were so fucking exhausting. It got to the point where it was literally months gone by where every fucking day I had these migraines, and it was literally like fucking up my life, because it's like I couldn't even enjoy the things that I normally did, and it was just too much. So I kept mentioning it to my mom, and eventually she was just like, look, this is not normal, and if they really bother you that badly, we need to get you checked out at a doctor. So we went to the doctor, and then she suggested we go to a specialist. So I went to a specialist, I got my hearing checked, I got like all types of shit checked, and they ended up doing an MRI scan because they were like, well, look, like nothing came up on the hearing check, anything else, let's check her brain. And so on the MRI, it actually popped up that I had a cyst. And this cyst was more benign, and it wasn't anything like serious. So I just checked the paper because I wanted to tell you exactly what type of cyst it was, but it doesn't say on there. I have my like discharge papers that like also say everything that they did on like my surgery, but they don't list exactly what it's called. It was like something like arachnoid something. I just remembered it kind of sounded like arachnophobia, and I was like, hi, it's a spider in my head, and it's not. If I find the name, I'll probably put it here. If I don't put anything there, then you probably know I didn't find exactly what it's called. So very quickly, I just wanted to read this to you. So on Google, it says that arachnoid cysts are cerebrospinal fluid covered by arachnoidal cells and collagen that may develop between the surface of the brain and the cranial base, or on the arachnoid membrane, one of the three meningeal layers that cover the brain and the spinal cord. If I butchered any of those words, I'm sorry. So pretty much they found this on an MRI, and then they were like, okay, we can put you on these pills, and like they'll help your headaches and you'll be fine. So I was taking those pills for quite a while, a couple of months, and it got to the point where I was literally taking like 5 or 6 of them, and like I wasn't even supposed to be taking that much, but my migraines were still so terrible. So they ended up kind of realizing, okay, this is like really like affecting you. So they decided to just remove the cyst. So we scheduled a day, and to be quite exact, the day was March 9th, 2012. So I went to New York Presbyterian because it's like the next state over, and they had like the best doctors there and everything. And my mom told me later that she said she talked to the doctor who found the cyst, and she was like, well, like, because the doctor was like telling her like different things of what she can do for my cyst, and my mom was like, look, what would you do for your child? And the doctor was like, I'm gonna level with you, I would go to the best of the best and I would take her to New York Presbyterian. And that's exactly what my mom did. And my mom was like great for that, because she was like, I'm not risking that surgery going bad, especially because it's like by my brain and everything. So shout out to her, she's a real one. It's kind of hard because my memory is very foggy, but I know that I went into the surgery like the day of, we showed up at the hospital, everything, put me under, and I know I must have been at the hospital for like a couple days, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. Honestly, I don't remember. I just remember being in and out of it and very foggy, and I kept falling asleep. And like, I remember my mom brought me my laptop and I was just watching a lot of YouTube, listening to a lot of music and texting on my phone. And like, I'm 14, like I was a fucking teenager. I was like, God, I could be doing so many other things right now. Like, I was so fucking mad to be there, but like, I don't know. And like, my mom told me, she was like, you were such a fucking bitch. She didn't say it like that, but like, I was so fucking moody, and like, I put her through so much. She said I made her cry. Can you fucking believe that? I was such a dick, dude. Like, I can't believe that. But I'm gonna say it was the drugs, because they did put me on steroids and stuff. And so I actually was like really weird, and I was like, I want to see what it looked like, but they didn't even fucking show it to me, which I don't blame them. Like, that's fucking weird. But I was like, but it was in me, it's like my child, I like birthed it out my head. But yeah, they didn't, the doctors did not save that for me, although that would have been interesting. And I read later on that those types of cysts, that they can like develop like hair and shit inside of it, and I was like, kind of nasty, you know? And they ended up putting like I think it was stitches in the back. They didn't do staples, they did like the that one that you like sew in with the thread or whatever. And it was just like a clean slice like down the, it's not quite on my neck, it's a little bit higher. They had to shave like a little bit of my hair in the back because they needed to get in that area. And so when I wear ponytails and stuff, even to this day, I have a big giant scar, which it kind of looks like Frankenstein to me, but I don't know. That's what it reminds me of. But I never hated my scar, and I'm glad that I didn't. I was just more annoyed that I had to grow all that hair back that they shaved. But it was never anything that really bothered me. If anything, I was like kind of proud of it, because I was like, well, I went through that. Like, no other 14-year-old fucking had brain surgery. I mean, I'm sure there's a 14-year-old out there, like a couple of them that had brain surgery like that, but nobody that I knew. So I felt pretty cool that that was something that I went through. So after they put the stitches in and stuff, like, it was the worst, and like, it was itchy, it was just tight. It's the most uncomfortable feeling ever. And like, honestly, I couldn't move my neck, and like, it was so stiff, I had to like turn like this, and like, it was bad. And like, that was like such a miserable time. And like, I was so paranoid of those stitches popping open, because just the thought of it like grosses me out. Even now, I'm just like, ew. And like, what if it did pop open? What if my brain freaking leaked out or something? I know that's not how it works, but I don't know, that's what I think. And I was still home at this time. It was like during the healing stage, and so I was kind of just home. And the school, because this was like in the middle of the fucking school year, they like sent me like homework and shit, and I had to do it at home. And then like, I really slacked off, and I was like, I don't want to do this crap, it's fucking hard, I don't have a teacher here to help me. Like, and the teachers were very understanding, and they were always emailing me and my mom back and forth, and like, they were trying as hard as they could. But I was just like, I don't want to fucking do this shit. Like, I just got out of a fucking surgery. Like, who the fuck wants to do homework? But I ended up doing maybe like some of it, enough to pass at least. But it was just, I was just so miserable. But didn't have any headaches, but still had other problems. So around that time, I was also making like a lot of more friends and stuff. Like, I think like I had made a bunch of friends like straight before the surgery, and that's why like I just didn't want to be there. I wanted to go hang out with my friends and like hear all the drama and this and that. Like, you know how you are when you're 14. And so I was just miserable, and like, so I, as soon as I could, I like got out and I went with my friends. I still had stitches in and everything. Like, I would go walking and this and that, and my one friend was like such like a mom parent, and he would like be like, no, nobody go near her head, no, she just had surgery, no, step back, no. Like, he was like very like a bodyguard, and he was just like helping me pretty much and just making sure that I didn't like, you know, pop a stitch or something, I don't know. And when they had to take those stitches out was the craziest feeling. Like, literally, I'm sure that all she did was just like take some scissors and go up and like just cut them open, but I just didn't want anything near it. I didn't want scissors near it. I was like, bleh. And then like, I remember once she took out the stitches, I made my mom take a picture of the back of my head, and it was like all bruised up and it had like nasty wounds all over it, and it was fucking nasty, dude. Like, ugh. I don't have that picture anymore, but if I did, I would not even show it to you because it's pretty fucking gross. And if you see my scar, which I'm sure I'll put either a photo or whatever of my scar, you can tell exactly where like the stitches were, because there's like these little like dot things going down, because like there's a line and then the dot things, like and the craziest thing is actually that my mom said after I got the cyst removed, she noticed that I was a lot less forgetful, that I was a lot less clumsy, and that I could like walk better and I had better motor skills and everything. And I think that might have been because the cyst, where it was like pushing on my, I forgot what it's called, not the spine, I get like the, god damn it, I need to know fucking words. I looked it up and it actually says typical symptoms of an arachnoid cyst around the brain include headache, nausea and vomiting, seizures, hearing and visual disturbances, vertigo, and difficulties with balance and walking, which I definitely had all the headaches and all of the balance issues. And my mom also said that it was very strange because it's like once I got the cyst removed, she noticed a lot of personality changes as well. But I mean, I don't know, like to me it didn't seem like that, but maybe. I'll take her word on it. She's known me the longest, so I also wanted to mention that besides the fact that I had all these headaches, they also advised my mom that this cyst, although it was very benign at the time, that there was a chance of it later on, like years later, possibly developing to something more dangerous. And they said possibly that it could have developed into a cancer type like tumor. So my mom, rather than leaving it and seeing how it played out, she kind of took the initiative and was like, we might as well just take it out now and avoid that completely. And plus tumors and like cysts and stuff, like they will grow and grow and grow, and it was easier to do it right then and there because it was pretty small. Otherwise, if you would have waited a lot later, it would have been bigger, it could have spread to different places in my head and my brain, I don't know. So they just kind of advised her to just do it now, and now was the best time to do it. And I was 14, so I would have been a lot better healing and stuff rather than if I was like 30. And it's not even like my mom had a lot of money to pay for the surgery. The insurance really didn't cover everything. I mean, they probably covered a lot, but I know there were like thousands of dollars that she still owed. And I remember her like constantly going to work and trying to raise money and like all these things. And she really like cared a lot. And she really was the one to make sure that I was okay, you know? I just appreciate her a lot, and I'm glad that she did everything that she could for me. I mean, who knows what would have happened if she just was like, nah, just leave it in. Like, I don't know what would have happened then, you know? So that's like pretty much it. I mean, there's nothing that's still affecting me from the surgery other than I have a scar now. The only thing that I could think of is just the fact that they had me on those steroids and how much it fucked up my skin. Because honestly, before the surgery, my skin was clear, it was fine, I never had any fucking issues. And then after they had me on the steroids for the surgery, my skin started being like really bad with eczema. I would get scars super easy. I still get scars so easily, and my acne is just horrible. And like, part of it, my acne could be just because sometimes I eat like shit, but a lot of times, even if I'm eating good, even if I'm drinking all the water, even if I'm taking care of my skin, I'll still have breakouts and this and that. And I don't know, like, I always feel like people are gonna look at my face and be like, wow, she doesn't take care of herself. And it's like, that's not true. I just had a surgery when I was 14 and they gave me steroids once and it fucked up my skin. So if you ever see me looking fucked up with the pimples, you know why. So this is the paper that says that yes, I was in the hospital. If any of you need proof or don't believe me, then go ahead and pause this video to read. So one thing that I did not know that I read on here, the bone was again secured in place utilizing titanium mini plates and screws. Disgusting. I have the titanium plates in my head. Ugh. And screws. And screws. Am I Frankenstein yet? So I hope you enjoyed learning about my life, like a big part of my life. And if you like this type of video, if you would like to see more of moi, feel free to like this video and let me know you like it, and subscribe for more of this, because you know, you've gotta love this, right? If you don't love this, well then I guess you don't. But yeah, check out another video of mine, because my goal this year, by the end of this year, I would like to get my channel monetized. That's my goal. I am saying it in every video because the more that I say it, the more that I'm going to manifest it. And I might also make a video on the law of attraction and how you can manifest your dreams. And that sounds so corny, but I truly mean it. Have a wonderful day.